What is the KNX Advanced Certified course? What are the topics covered in the KNX Advanced Certified course? Should I take it? What benefits I will get if I took the KNX Advanced Certified course? Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Today we'll be talking about the KNX Certified Advanced course. We talked before that the first basic course in KNX course is the KNX Certified Basic course, and this is the course where you learn about the KNX foundation with the theory part and the practical part. And the practical part was covering mostly controlling lights, curtains, diagnostics, and scenes using a keypad. And if you need more details about the KNX Certified Basic course, you can find that in our YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about the next step. I took the KNX Basic course. What else? What next? Well, the logical step is the KNX Advanced course. The KNX Advanced course is designed to cover many topics, which most of them you will need in your normal projects. Nowadays, most of the KNX projects require to cover a lot of topics. So the KNX Basic course is covering the basic topics, but for real-time live projects, you need the KNX Advanced topics covered in the KNX Advanced course. So let's talk about the KNX Advanced course. KNX Advanced course has a theory part, a practical part, like the basic course, and also two exams, practical exam and theory exam. In the KNX Advanced course, many topics are covered, and you are expected to be able to cover most of the topics in a more professional way because they are advanced topics. Let's talk about what is covered in the advanced course. And before you attend the advanced course, by the way, you have to finish first the basic course. So you cannot go and take the advanced course unless you already finished with the basic course. You had your certificate, otherwise you'll not be able to register with KNX Association in the KNX Advanced course. In the KNX Advanced course, you are expected that you already know the foundation, so we go directly with the topics. The topics covered in the advanced course, the theory part, are two type of topics. There are some mandatory chapters that they should be taught and they will come in the exam, and some optional chapters that it's better for you to have and not mandatory taught. And the topics in the advanced course are changing a lot. So maybe every 3 months you get new topics from optional to mandatory, or vice versa, or some topics will be removed at all. So let's talk about the topics covered in the theory part. And here the sorting and the order of the topics is not that important because they are linking to each other somehow by the end of the topic. Let's talk about them. First, we have a chapter talking about the internetworking. And if you remember the internetworking from the basic course, it was talking about data point types, how devices are being connected together. Here we are talking about that in more advanced and more detailed topics. Then there is a chapter talking about the lighting control, which is covering two important topics. First one is constant lighting, how to make sure that you have a constant lighting in one place, varies and changing based on the variation coming from a different place. And the topic is about open loop control, closed loop control, very nice topic. And then the topic about the daily lights, and daily light is a very important topic because it's talking about a different protocol of lighting called daily. Then we talk about it in theory, and we also cover it in the practical part as well. The other topic is about couplers, and we talk here about the couplers, IP routers, topology in general, how to connect devices together, and the filtering in the couplers, how it's taking place, what is the rules covering the filtering, when telegrams will be filtered, when telegrams will be blocked, when telegrams will be routed. Then another chapter about energy management with KNX, talking about how to measure energy, how to customize the project for better or efficient energy management. Then a chapter about flags. We talked about the flags in the basic course. Now we talk about the flags again in a more detailed way. Then a chapter about IP communication, and this is mostly and purely an IP communication chapter, talking about IP communication, TCP, UDP, OSI layers. If you are not familiar with that, then you should cover this chapter. If you are familiar with the TCP IP part, then most of the chapter you're already aware of. Then topic about KNX Secure. This is the protocol where you have data encrypted on the bus, and with KNX Secure, devices can talk together in a secure way. with an encrypted way. This is a very important topic because most of the projects within the next 2 years will rely mostly on the security. Otherwise, the projects will be vulnerable to attacks. So KNX and KNX Association is now focusing a lot about KNX Secure and how to secure the projects to make sure that your projects are in good hands. Then we talk about logic operation. We talk about the basic logic operation covered in the actuators like time delays, case functions, and we talk a little bit about advanced logic operation that might be needed if you have a logic controller or a server. We start talking about the visualization system, meaning here how to connect your system to maybe a BMS system or a console or a mobile application, how to visualize what's happening on the system in front of your console or visualization screen in general. Another chapter, or maybe the 10th chapter, this is the last mandatory chapter, is about telegrams. Talk more details about the telegrams, component of the telegram, duration of the telegram, and we talk a lot about telegrams and the type of telegrams in each case. Then you have some informational chapter, not mandatory, but recommended to learn or to read. We have one chapter about ETS apps, so we talk about specific ETS apps and how to use. We talked about that in the basic course as well. We have a chapter called about fail-safe planning, how to secure and to monitor your project for proper operation. We have a chapter about HVAC, and this is now an optional chapter, but we teach it in the practical and also in the theory part because it's an important one, and it used to be a mandatory chapter before. We have a chapter about KNX and multimedia, how to connect sound systems to KNX in general, how to connect multimedia system to KNX in general. And we have the last chapter about security technology. Don't confuse it with secure technology. KNX Secure is a communication, how devices communicate together in a secure way, but security technology here is talking about how to physically secure a KNX project or a KNX site using maybe intrusion detection system, something like that. Then we finalize the theory part, which is normally online, and then we go to the office for the practical part, and the practical part for the advanced course is for 2 days. And here we try to put the devices together. We use a lot of devices in the practical part. We try to put the devices together to shape a project in front of you. So instead of taking the parts on, let's say, separate topics, we try to connect them together. And we build on what you took in the basic course. We start normally with a revision about the basic course, what you took in the basic course about ETS. In maybe half an hour we finish the revision, because we are expecting that you already took the basic course, and if you need to take more information about the basic course, you still have the recorded files also available on our YouTube channel. Then we start based on the basic course. We talked in the basic course about how to control dimming with the keypad, and then we start here with the screen. And then we bring the screen. We talk about how to choose the proper screen for a project. Where can you put screens in general? Difference between screens in general. What is the difference between this screen and that screen in the interface, in the GUI itself? And then we start by linking the kit that we have with the screen using ETS. Normally we start with controlling the dimming, maybe even the switching with the screen. Now you had a revision about the basic course, and now you link it with the screen. Once we are done with how to configure a screen, to program a screen, we move to the daily lights. The lights is an important topic, and since daily is a different protocol, then we can control it using a daily gateway. And then we bring the gateway. Of course, the brand you are using and the model depends on the location. In Egypt might be different devices than UAE, maybe different devices than Saudi Arabia. Then we have a daily gateway, and we talk about how to control the daily gateway using the external tool, using the DCA, and we try to tell you more about the different brands about the daily gateway. So in my hand there is the ABP. So we talk about how to do the ABP control using the iBus tool. But if you have a different brand, what can you do to control also the protocol? And in our kit we have daily here, we have some daily ballasts. So we talk about also how to control the daily ballasts using the gateway, how to configure, how to make the addresses with the gateway. Then we link the daily ballasts, the daily lights using the gateway to the screen, so you can control the daily system with the screen itself. Once we are done with the daily, we start with the weather station. This is the weather station, by the way. And as you know, weather station is normally a group of some sensors that are taking readings from the outside world, like sunshine, wind speed, rain, something like that, and how we link that to our KNX system. So as an example, if the sun is down, I need to get the boundary lights up, on. If a lot of wind outside, then I need to shut my shutters to close. We see and we link this weather station. After we talk about its usage, we link the weather station to our system, we link the readings to the screen, and we build some kind of logic or scenarios on how, when some variations coming on the weather station, is taking effect on our system. And most of the time, this is the finish of the first day, because we have to do all of those parts, not only the theory part, but the practical parts. Each one from the students will be there doing this on ETS, trying, fixing, and checking. In the second day, we start with the revision, of course, and then we talk about some other topics related to the first day. So we start mostly with some light topics like the binary input or the binary sensors. We talk about maybe the flash mount or the DIN rail mount, depending on the location of the site. We talk about what's the difference between the different binary inputs and why should I use a binary input. We link it most of the time with one of the conventional sensors like a door contact sensor or a motion sensor, and we program it so when there is motion or there is a door contact open or closed, something is happening, maybe a siren on, maybe some lights is on, so we understand the function of the device and program it as well in our system. Done with this, we go to the line coupler and IP router mostly, because you connect both together, and we start talking about the difference between the line coupler and the IP router. When should I use a line coupler? When should I use an IP router? What are the configuration each one? Also, what is the IP interface? And to find out how to configure more how to put more lines in our topology and how to configure them to work together. And since most of the devices here is secure, the line coupler or the IP router is secure device, then we talk about how to insert a secure device in our project, how to scan the QR code, what it looks like when I have a group address which is secured, what looks like if I don't have a secure group address, how to make secure commissioning, and we cover this topic in the second day. Then we move to the very important topic of HVAC. In the HVAC, we spend some time talking about how to choose your actuator, what are the type of ACs or HVAC units available in the market. And we take a lot of details about the FCU, because this is the FCU where we are going to program in our system as well, link it to the screen and control it using our screen. And we talk also about the other types, not an FCU as an example, like the gateways, and how to choose a gateway for our project. So at the end, we talk about how to choose the activator, the right activator or controller for your project, how to choose the right thermostat or what we call room controller for your project as well, and how to link them together. So we do the group balancing and linking, and we check together. We do diagnostics also here, because most of the time we have some incompatibility between sometimes the data points between the screen and the fan coil unit, and we fix this. And this is intention that we have some issues during the commissioning, so you understand what might happen in the site as well. Then the last point mostly is about file application and KNX server. So what is the criteria of choosing the right server? What is the difference between some servers in the market? How to choose a server? We go through a lot of servers online, and then we take one server as an example. We talk about the mobile application, how to configure a mobile application, what are the features of mobile application, how to link it with the external world. Then mostly we're done with the second day as well. Sometimes some students will come asking for a specific topic to cover. In this case, we cover it as well, if needed. If the topic is a little bit detailed, then we can have a video about it and send it to the students. If the topic is simple, then we can cover it during the practical days as well. Then we end up with the practical exam, which is mostly covering what we had in the course itself. We talk also a lot about diagnostics during the course to make sure that you remember what you had in the basic course about diagnostics and what are the advanced topics about diagnostics itself and telegram monitoring in front of you. Then after you finish the practical part and practical exam, you will have the theory exam. The theory exam of the advanced course is less complicated, is shorter than the basic theory exam. The exam here is, I think, 25 questions for 30 minutes, which is quite easy. Once you're done with both course with the both exams, then you will be certified KNX Advanced Partner. This will of course add a lot to your knowledge and also will add more points to your KNX ranking on KNX Association website. My name is Wissam, KNX Certified Tutor from In Future or KNX Certified Center. To do a lot of KNX consultants and projects. If you have any question related to KNX or smart home in general, let me know. See you next time about, inshallah, talking about the KNX Tutor course. Assalamu alaikum.